For an 80-year-old person, tripping and falling is potentially deadly. It's a big deal. And anyone in America whose grandparent, mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, 80-year-old plus took a fall, 80, 70, 65 plus, took a fall like this, and you'd be worried sick. Joe Biden took a bad fall today. And it's interesting, in a way, it seems like no one cares. And off to the chair. You know what it reminds me of? Anybody see Stripes? Have that removed. Remember? Who was that lieutenant? Played by John Larroquette? Have that removed. That's a big problem. It is. At the Air Force Academy today, I know the mainstream media, they are burying this, ignoring it, brushing it off. But it's a big deal. And I'm sorry, did you hear? Was that a round of applause? Was that a big cheer when he went down? Was this a, I hope not. I don't think so. But was this a let's go Brandon type thing? Oh. All right, look, that's tough. I don't want to see it. It's not good for America. It's not good for the presidency. It's not good for Joe Biden. And like I've said before, he's not going to be able to finish his presidency. He must resign. He's not up to it mentally, physically. Everybody knows it, but so many are pretending that this is normal or that this is not happening. Now watch this in slow motion, if you don't mind. Joe does that little run thing. Did you see? I'm going to run. I'm going to run. I'm a man on the move. That was his whole thing. Look, when he ran for president, he was too old, right? We all knew it, and he wasn't good at stuff. But he tried to promise us, tried to fool us that he was going to be that kind of go-get-him dude.
Some people are always in a hurry. They run when they could walk, race up steps when others take it slow. When Joe Biden's president, America is just going to have to keep up.
Oh, what a lie. How much phony baloney nonsense. And that is a fake run. And when you do that, you know what you do? Well, see, your upper body is kind of running, but your legs are actually walking. It's a prime opportunity to trip and fall. Look, I don't like the guy, but I don't want anything bad to happen to him. The people around him, apparently, they're not talking to him like I have talked to him. This is a trend. Air Force One. Shortly into his presidency, look at this. Boom, boom, boom. 3 times he goes down. Last summer on that bike. He should not be riding a bike. He comes up, where is he? Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, someplace like that on vacation. Look at me. I'm Joe Biden. I can ride a bike. Watch what happens. Damn, this is bad. He's going to get seriously hurt if he keeps this up. Last month in Japan, this could have been really bad. Look, and there's one more to point out that we know of. Air Force One in Poland earlier this year. Did you see that? He went down almost again. The CDC says that falls are a leading cause of injury and death in older Americans. No one in his inner circle is telling him to slow down. I did. I'll get to that in a moment. People on talk shows, even Chris Christie, who wants to run against him. His candidacy is dead on arrival, by the way, but this was a pretty reasonable observation.
Well, we got to remember what the 2020 election was like. Joe Biden barely had to leave his basement in Wilmington. He didn't have to campaign. Do you see Joe Biden on Air Force One doing 7, 8 campaign stops a day at 82 years old? And being effective? Can you imagine how many gaffes there are going to be in those speeches? How many mistakes? How many outright falsehoods there'll be? Not because of any other reason. He's just making it up. Look, John, look, he is not capable of running a traditional American race.
And he's not capable of running a traditional American presidency. He is not up to the job. We all see it. And that Japan thing we talked about, right? Coming down those steps. You know, it really spooked our White House correspondent, James Rosen. And he's a serious guy. He's covered many administrations and a great historian, too. listen to James in the aftermath of this moment last month.
That stumble by the president down the center of those concrete steps could have ended very, very differently. This would have gone beyond. This would have gone beyond embarrassment. Had he face planted on those concrete steps, this would have been catastrophic, and certainly would have, I think, ended any concept of 2024 for the incumbent.
And if anybody says I'm nitpicking the president, no, I'm not. I'm actually, look, he said that this is a legitimate issue, his age, and that we should watch him, his words.
It's legitimate for people to raise issues about my age. It's totally legitimate to do that. And the only thing I can say is watch me. That's all I can say. I mean, it goes from one extreme to the other. Last night I heard that people were saying, well, just watch Biden. My God, age is not an issue anymore. I think it's a legitimate thing to be concerned about anyone's age, including mine. I think that's totally legitimate. But I think the best way to make the judgment is to watch me.
Anybody in America who's watching Joe Biden knows he can't do the job anymore. But fascinatingly, the media who watch him don't report on him. So today after he fell, cable news, and by the way, daytime cable news, they're desperate to talk about anything, all right? They need content. They didn't talk about this. They pretended it didn't happen. And what do they focus on? Trump stuff. Oh, wait, what's the latest headline here? Trump captured, on tape talking about classified documents. The boxes hoax. Wow. They couldn't talk about this. Why not? They are deceptive. They are protecting him. They're actually doing him a disservice, really. So in February of 2021, Joe Biden took a minor fall here. Check this out. You see that? It was just a minor trip. That's in 2021, February. I watched that, and it gave me a bad feeling. The next day, on this show, in this room, I sent a message to Joe Biden just based on that little moment. My advice to President Biden, please, Mr. President, walk, don't run, and maybe also don't ride, okay? Yeah, right? Why didn't he listen to me? I care, Joe. Next. I've noticed something about you, and actually, from the heart, sir, this is sincere. It concerns me. You're taking those stairs a little bit too fast. This whole running thing, this whole trying to convince everybody that you're a man of vitality. I've seen you run down ramps, run on stage, run off stage. It's going to catch up with you, and we're starting to see it. Take it easy, okay? Fair enough? Fair enough. And 1 month later, he took that spectacular fall going up Air Force One. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And then there was the bike fall. I mean, come on. Folks, I'm trying to help the guy. Again, I don't like him, but I don't want the president of the United States to get a compound fracture on TV or bang his head or worse. I mean, it would be awful. And oh, by the way, gosh, that is bad, right? This is a presidency in free fall. It's awful. Did you notice he took a shot at Donald Trump for taking it easy and carefully on the steps and on a ramp like a president should?
Race up steps when others take it slow.
When others take it slow. So Donald Trump spoke at the West Point commencement in 2020, and everybody gave him a hard time because he went very slow down the ramp. You know why? It was smart. It was a slippery ramp. The fake news went bananas. And he didn't even fall. Ooh, look, he must be having a cognitive issue or something like that. Who has a ramp, oh, by the way, for the President of the United States? Was somebody playing a trick? I wonder. Oh, Donald Trump responded to today's misfortune of Joe Biden.
He's at the Air Force Academy. He actually fell down. Well, I hope he wasn't hurt. But the whole thing is crazy. You got to be careful about that. Because you don't want that. Even if you have to tiptoe down a ramp, you got to tiptoe.
You can't have a president fall, even if you have to tiptoe down the ramp. Look, Gerald Ford, the 38th president of the United States, he was an amazing athlete. He was like a hero college football player in Michigan. He coached football at Yale. and very underrated president, by the way. He took one fall on a rainy day in Austria. Watch what happened. And you see the bias of the media, it goes way, way back. All right, one fall, he's back up on his feet. He never fell again. And that was it, though. The media decided he's a klutz. And Chevy Chase, who did the worst and laziest impression of all time, here he is as Gerald Ford. And the whole joke is, I'm Gerald Ford, and I fall down a lot. Watch.
Whereas the...
Right? Is that fair? No, it's not. Yeah.
It's Saturday night.
Very lazy impressionist, Chevy Chase, but a great movie. Those vacation movies, National Lampoon Vacation. So, what do we think of all this? This can't continue. I don't like Joe Biden, but you know what? I love all human beings. Really, God has a plan for everybody. I don't want anything bad to happen to Joe Biden. His staff, obviously, afraid of him, won't talk to him. I've been talking to him for 2 years about this, 2.5 years. First, sir, I think you should resign. Second, I think you should slow down. Did you get the message already or what? Come on.